O ye faithful, how many of you will not comprehend the magnitude of the situation? But there still is hope. Many of you have underestimated Satan's influence, but they have underestimated the power of God. This one is called lesser and leper. In the world, there are two very specific groups of people. They may be embodied perhaps by Rockefeller and Rothschild. They may be embodied perhaps by Israel and the American government, the Eurocentric American government. We are faced with this ruthless conspiracy, this monstrous conspiracy that is controlled by lesser and leper. The pagan Gentile and the conspiratorial Jews, those of them who are involved in the great conspiracy. Tonight, in response to things that I have said, in response to my courageous militancy and heroism, they have threatened my family, though I am not surprised in the slightest. To truly fight for God, you must be ready to sacrifice everything. Your life, your loved ones. And it is hard. Many of you do not have the moral will to make such a difficult decision. For many of you, that difficult decision seems like an impossible decision. And I guess I perhaps cannot entirely blame you. But I am ready to sacrifice everything. These lowly cowards, these secret society fiends, they have already beat up my brother, cost me my son. Rumors that they induced the illness of my uncle, they cost him his life. They took my fiancée. They planted people in my life to cause psychological disruption and damage, sabotage, harass, stalk, covertly drug. Many of you do not appreciate the situation. You do not understand. You do not comprehend what this represents. Some of you will oversimplify it and say, well, you know, we're not surprised how far America will go to win a war. Am I a terrorist? No. The truth is, you would be surprised how far Masons will go to win a war. When every major war in the last 300 or 400 years at least has been predetermined by the moneylenders, the international financiers, and the greater network of Freemasonry. We are faced by the unscrupulous scum that I will call lesser and leper. You see, lesser and leper are part of Babylon's system, the whore that rode the beast. Why did she ride the beast? How was she able to influence the masters without Satan's little helpers? Lesser and leper. Why does Satan resemble Hades when being portrayed by the Greeks? Because the Hades is a representation of that evil. Why Saturn? Chronos. Serapis. Because Satan is a representation of that evil. And to those who use Jesus as an icon, the particular image of Jesus that they have chosen, when the Greeks were some of the first to translate the Bible, well, it's quite obvious what Babylon's church is saying. They are saying that Satan is equal to God. It is quite obvious what the Masons are saying. If you have been paying attention to the parts before this, they are saying that Satan is equal to God. Do you know why the Muslims were upset? Because they were familiar with secret societies. Some of them were in secret societies. And they found themselves in a position where either they would tell their fellow Muslim man that there are cults that believe that the devil is equal to God and you must give the devil his due. Or they would be loyal to their oaths, to these mystery schools and cults. And do you know what they chose? History makes it quite clear what they chose. They chose to scream, God is greater. Now, mind you, I am not a Muslim. But in the debate between the secret societies that control Christianity and the Muslims who are true to God, the Muslim was right. In the debate between the Christian and the secret societies that control the church, the Christian was, and always will be right. My white brothers, my Jewish brothers, I urge you all to hand over lesser and leper to the servants of God so they may receive their just recompense, their just comeuppance for their iniquity. How long should we stand idly by while lesser and leper kill innocent people? They are spiritually challenged, to say the least. Why? Why do nothing? Hand them over. You cannot serve two masters, leper. God is greater, lesser. Why do you call me good? Jesus said. No one is good but God alone. And as I started thinking about this, I said, yes, there is a Trinity, but no, it does not imply what you think it does. Anyone can become one with God. The Trinity is a representation of a prophet, a Messiah, the anointed one who became one with God. And to the Mason, the initiate is in the place of Jesus in the Trinity. What it means to fight for honor and to fight for God is to be stopped by nothing, deterred by nothing. There are no limits when fighting for honor and fighting for God. Total war. There is no fear in your heart other than the fear of God. There is no love greater in your heart than the love for God. Not the love of family. Not the love that comes with women and romance for a man and men for a woman. There is no love greater. And when God says that which you do for the least of my brethren, you do for me through his messenger, the reverse must also be true. That which you do not do for the least of your brethren, you do not do for me. And that which you do not do for me, you do not do for the least of your brethren. I have told the lowly dogs, these pitiful fiends, I do not fear your prisons, your jail system, your psych wards, your institutions. I do not fear death. My God does not allow me to fear the loss of family. I have been there before, and I will watch them all perish before I will allow you to kill 65 million people every year. What it means to be selfless and a servant of God is you do not think of yourself or anything that you are attached to, through love or otherwise. Not when it is time to make a decision. I will follow this through. I will never back down. And God is greater than all you devil-worshipping scum. Do you know what you call lesser and leper? Those who think they can serve more than one master. You call them Satanists. Oh, ye men of little faith. Oh, ye men who twist morality. Oh, ye men of deceit. Ye men of Babylon. Ye men of the temple, who miss the entire point of the temple. You pagan dogs. Do you know what leprosy was in the Bible? It was a curse. You are cursed for defying the Almighty and thinking that indulging yourselves and your pitiful little club was more important than serving the one true God. We must all suffer. We must all carry our cross. We must all watch the Romans and the Pharisees and the Talmudic Jews persecute us and our loved ones, because that is what our God demands. What I am asking you all to do is not easy. You should think about it. You should search your hearts and your souls. We are faced with the great conspiracy, a Masonic conspiracy, a conspiracy of lesser and leper that involves millions of people. And they have control of institutions and major movements all over the world. But we must serve God no matter the cost. I am asking you to stand with me.